Welcome to Witham Sounding Board, a podcast sharing powerful business tips, insights, and trends for those seeking to become a rock star in their industry.
Welcome everyone to Witham's Perspective from the Bankruptcy Cliff, where we provide our perspective on various questions related to insolvency and bankruptcy affecting individuals and businesses. I'm Ken DeGraw. I'm the host for this session. I'm a member of Witham's Forensic and Valuation Services Group. Our team focuses on the unique needs of individuals and businesses going through a reorganization process, experiencing financial distress, or considering bankruptcy as an option. Today, I'm joined by Stephanie Danos, who's also a member of the team, to get her perspective on divorce actions and bankruptcy. We do need to start out certainly by reminding everyone that the information you're about to hear is general in nature and should not be acted upon without the advice and counsel of qualified legal representation and financial advisors who can evaluate your unique circumstances. So let's get into it. Hi, Steph. Let's talk about divorce a little bit. And marrying divorce and bankruptcy together, pardon the pun, is generally not a wonderful occurrence. So how does filing for bankruptcy affect a divorce proceeding?
So there will be no effect on child support or custody issues. The dissolution of the marriage can happen, but the automatic stay will stop the property settlement agreement. So once the property is in the bankruptcy estate, a divorce court can divide it between the spouses.
Interesting. So does filing for divorce before or after does filing for bankruptcy before or after filing for divorce create a different outcome? Is there one I should be doing first?
It depends, because either way things can get challenged. You can file legal motions at the same time, but one will take precedence. Therefore, you should work with advisors to understand the potential outcomes and risks. If filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy, it may be best to file that first over the divorce, as it can be complete in a few months. Chapter 13 filings may last 3 to 5 years, and therefore may not be a good idea to file before a divorce proceeding. If both are pending simultaneously, however, bankruptcy is typically suspended until the divorce court apportions marital debts and assets to each party.
Wow, that's a lot. All right, so my spouse has regrettably filed for divorce, and I'm really not keen on that idea. Can I file for bankruptcy to try and stop this?
You can file for bankruptcy, yes.
All right, but I'm guessing that's probably not going to stop the divorce.
No, it won't.
So how about representation now? Can the same attorney or financial experts handle both my divorce and my bankruptcy?
So the attorney handling your bankruptcy cannot handle your divorce, as his bankruptcy clients would be opponents in another legal matter, and therefore there would be a conflict of interest.
Okay. So we've got a whole lot of debt, and that's one of the reasons why I would be thinking about filing. How's this debt split up in a divorce case?
Much of it will depend on which of the spouses is in the bankruptcy and carries the debt obligations.
Okay, got it. So, what happens if the judge in a divorce action orders my spouse to pay off the credit cards because they were just rung up like crazy? What happens if they file for bankruptcy after the divorce is over?
So the credit card company is not bound by the divorce. Therefore, if the cards are joint, you may still be held liable to pay them.
Not great news. My spouse, I suspect, has been maybe playing a little fast and loose. Can I be held responsible for their fraudulent acts and actions prior to the divorce being finalized?
That's a legal issue, and it should be discussed with counsel to preserve attorney-client privilege. But this does speak to making sure you have knowledgeable legal and financial advisors.
Yeah, good. So along the same lines, I'm really positive that my spouse has hidden some stuff and is trying to keep it from me. How do I go about trying to locate assets that my spouse has hidden or maybe undervalued in the bankruptcy petition?
So this is often easier said than done, and typically should start with obtaining financial records for the past 3 to 5 years. You should also consider hiring of a private investigator.
Yeah, good point. One of the questions I get quite a bit is, can my domestic support obligations be reduced if I file?
No, so pre-filing obligations are not dischargeable, so bankruptcy is not the way to accomplish that.
And what about child support?
Child support debt is not dischargeable either. It is actually paid first over other priority debt. So all child support debt must be paid in full in order to receive a discharge from all of your other debts. So you can't do that either.
You're no fun. If I file for Chapter 7 after the divorce is over, and a trustee is going to be appointed, can the trustee then attack the property settlement?
It is possible. A trustee is able to review the settlement.
Okay. So I guess I can't hide assets with my former spouse.
You cannot.
And the last question for today, and appreciate everything, all this. I know there's a tax issue called innocent spouse, and it kind of gets back to the hiding of assets and some of the conduct that my spouse has been undertaking. Can you tell me a little bit about obtaining innocent spouse treatment?
Yeah, so in short, the spouse is claiming that they're not responsible for a joint tax liability, and it allows them to seek relief from penalties resulting in underpayment of tax by the other spouse. This is very difficult to prove, as the IRS will look into your knowledge of the underpayment, your involvement, and your lifestyle. To apply, you must have filed a joint return that has an understatement of tax that's solely attributable to your spouse's erroneous item.
Well, thanks so much, Stephanie. I hope everyone found the information on filing for divorce and bankruptcy helpful. If you have specific questions regarding your unique circumstances, please reach out to a member of our team. Our contact information can be found at witham.com under the Forensic and Valuation Services section. This episode, as well as others in the series, can be found at witham.com. Thank you for listening to Witham's Perspectives from the Bankruptcy Cliff.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you'll be first in line to hear what's coming next. Don't want to wait for our next episode? Check us out at witham.com. That's WITHUM.com.